Hello?
Hey, Ed.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, it's Uncle Eddie from America. How are you, motherfucker?
Oh, Uncle Eddie from America. Oh, that doesn't sound creepy at all.
No, not in the least.
Welcome to Ham Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ed the Sock.
Okay.
Canadian
By the way,
hero.
just to inform you, Uncle Eddie,
Yes.
I'm in America to North America. So you may, sometimes want to clarify. There's North America, there's South America, Latin America. It's not all just America where you live.
To us, it's America, Ed.
Oh, that's what I forgot. That's all that exists.
That's all that exists to us, man. He's up in the Great White North, Ed the Sock, Canadian superhero. Of course, TV personality, cult classic, the man, the myth, the wool. That is Ed the Sock.
What the hell was that little stupid comment?
I said you're the man, the myth, the wool. You're what kind of sock are you made out of, Ed?
Is this all going to be about my ethnicity? Is that what this whole thing is?
Yes, I like to do a racial background on all my guests.
What the hell are you, Trump? You're going to build a wall against me now?
It's going to be a wall around socks.
Turn the heat up in the dryer.
A wall around the closet. Everything's good. Don't worry about it.
Who's the other joker there?
Well, we have Billy. Billy, we just found out that Billy has sex for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can rank on that for a couple minutes.
27 years ago.
27 years ago when he had good hips. He used
to. How much did your arm hurt?
That's what I said.
Oh, one's bigger than the other.
Yeah, he works on his forearms that way. We got Danny over here. Danny, say hi to Ed the Sock, please. Hi. Well, hold on, Danny. Sorry, your mic wasn't on.
Turn me on.
I don't want to turn you on. Do you really have to give Ed the Sock that much farther? You're gonna
You know what? Don't turn Danny's mic on. I don't think there's going to be anything valuable coming out of there.
You've heard the show before.
No, I just got some intuition. Actually, quite frankly, you could turn off all your mics. I don't think anything valuable is going to be coming.
It's just going to be Ed the Sock talking for the next hour and a half or whatever he's going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to do some infomercials. I've got some sham wows I have to unload, and it is Christmas.
You got to make some money on the side.
What do you mean on the side? I'm in Canadian media. That's the only money you make.
Notice that Ed laughed during his own shit. So what are you doing now? Tell me where I can catch you. What are you doing?
What am I doing right now? This is, I'm glad to see that internet radio has adopted the same, rhythms as regular terrestrial radio, which is basically don't do any research, open up with a broad question, and let your guest do all the work.
Pretty much. That was my plan. I got that from the Book of Broadcasting. I was just checking in. No, I'm asking you because I don't have you here in the shitty part of America while you're in the northern Americas. I don't have.
What was that little sound effect there that was there a few seconds ago?
We have a bunch of sound effects. We have a slide
whistle.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I love that.
You love that? We got.
You're in the right place for that.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing says comedy needs help like those kind of sound effects.
Oh, absolutely. Those are my crutches, Ed. Jesus.
All right, so right now, I quit television a couple of years ago because I don't know how it is. Well, I know how it is down there. Right now, down in the U.S., you guys are struggling. The television industry is struggling to adapt to the new digital world. In Canada, it just collapsed. So I sort of walked away from television, also because everything up here became so corporatized. All the good little outposts of independent freedom, all got swallowed up by these massive conglomerates, none of whom actually know anything about television. One's a phone company, the other's a cable company. And so they've got these idiots running these things as if they're utilities, not like they're, creative endeavors. So I just walked away, and I'm doing stuff online now. You can find me at, I'm on everyjoe.com, which comes out of the U.S., and HuffingtonPost.ca, which I think you guys can access from there.
Yes.
But all of it can be found on my website, edthesock.com.
There you go. See, it was much better just to let Ed do it. I don't have to ask any questions. Ed kind of infomercialed himself. That was pretty good.
Did you ask me a question, smartass, or did you not?
No, I did. You did well, Ed.
What the hell are you criticizing? You ask me a question, I give you an answer, and all of a sudden you give me shit? Shut up already.
Shut up, Ed.
Where the hell's that other guy? Billy, you're ready. Remember the hell the guy said don't turn his mic on. Maybe I like him better.
Billy, you got it.
Uh-oh.
Billy, now you got to talk to Ed Sock. I wanted to give you compliments, Ed.
Sounds like my Uncle Whitey.
Yeah, I know. I want to give. I have to give Ed compliments because the fact of the matter is, when it was siphoned in from G4, they started playing Ed's night party
Right.
That's right.
On G4 here in the States, and that's where I grew to learn that Ed the Sock was a comedic genius. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, he was also, his show was what I wished the radio show would be, because when it started, when did you start on G4, Ed? I don't even remember. It was,
I don't even remember. It was,
what, 2004 or something like that?
Something like that, 2004, something like that. Yeah, a long story about G4.
10 years into the career of your show.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just
it took us 10 years to discover you down here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
I started on G4 in 2004.
You started on
Canadian TV in 1987.
Yeah. Oh, even longer?
Yeah,
even longer.
Ed's been around for a while, yeah.
Yeah, G4 picked up a couple of the later seasons when I was partners. My show was partners with a broadcaster up here, but that broadcaster was getting sold, so I became partners with a digital channel in Los Angeles. And then G4 came to the broadcaster and said they wanted to buy more episodes. They wanted to buy more seasons. And that broadcaster said, we're not partners with them anymore. You have to go to this digital channel. And they were pissed off that we didn't, G4 was pissed off we didn't go to them to make them our partner. And they considered this digital channel to be competition, which it wasn't, because it wasn't linear. And so they said, well, you know what, I don't know if the show's doing well enough for us. But, well, why did you come to us and ask for more seasons? And why did you get mad when we couldn't give you, when you couldn't get more seasons for the same amount of money? What a bunch of bullshit and crybabies. But they don't exist anymore, G4.
Right,
that was scorched earth.
I think when Ed left, the downfall of G4 started, quite frankly, because he was one of the only shows that you gave a shit about watching. Because
I appreciate that, and I mean, there was the Attack of the Show, and then
that was
Play, or was that what X Play? Isn't that that would have been Caitlyn Jenner's show now?
Yeah, X Play. No, but it was one of the ones, like, especially because you had your lovely redheaded sidekick. That was always great to watch.
Well, she was the last of my co-hosts. I had quite a few over the years, because initially when we started on cable access, and cable access, you don't pay your hosts, so co-hosts would find gainful employment, and off they would go. So I had a few. But Leanna had been a producer and writer on the show for years, and then we just put her in front of the camera, and now she's still out there doing stuff. She's got her own YouTube channel where she talks mostly about video games and social issues, and video games and feminism, and video games. So you can find her Leanna K channel out there, and she does writing and shows about cosplay for the escapistmagazine.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was the perfect blend between the two of you, because it worked so well. She had the tits and you had the talent, and then vice versa. You had the tits and she had the talent. And they went back and forth, because it was great back and forth. I mean, you started out with a guy that was a comedian who looked like a caveman. I don't remember his name. I just remember his
Craig
face.
Campbell. He wasn't the start, but he was the second last guy. He lasted probably the longest. He was with us from season 3 to season 9, I think.
And the best part about the show, Joe, the best part was that they had a fucking hot tub.
Ooh.
And that's what I'm saying. This show was so different. It was like a true alternative to other crap that was on TV. And that was the best part of it. It's like, not only was it a talking, cigar-smoking, foul-mouthed sock, which was an amazing thing, and Ed is an amazing thing for that.
It's like my Uncle Whitey.
Exactly. But then he had a hot tub where the guests would sit in a hot tub with normally either scantily clad women or girls that would just take off their tops anyway and start making out while the guest was in the hot tub, in the wang tank, as they referred to it. Yeah, it was a great, everything that they did on that show was what I imagined one day this show would be. We are nowhere near there yet.
No, we have no hot tub.
Not a hot tub yet.
No.
Well, I would not recommend a hot tub, quite frankly. Yes, we did have the hot tub, and basically put it in just to piss people off. First, I put in these go-go dancers, because, you go in and out of break. Most shows just have, like, clapping audience or some crap like that. It's like, it's got to be more interesting. So we got these go-go dancers to dance us in and out of breaks. And then when that, finished pissing people off, I said, let's put in a hot tub. So we would open it up so that viewers could apply to come sit in the hot tub, and they would sort of, get a little bit of, get interviewed and stuff, and hang out with our hot tub girls. And the hot tub girls invariably had way more fun with each other than they did with the idiots in the tub, who mostly sat there looking like pieces of wood, and I don't mean that as a euphemism. And by the way, you can find, there's 2 seasons of Ed's Night Party on the Internet. It's on Ed the Sock Central on YouTube. Interestingly enough, the company that put them up there lost the password for the YouTube channel, and so I can't add to that. So I'm starting my own YouTube channel, which I'll talk about another time when it started. But right now, like I said, go to edthesock.com. You can find all my videos, mostly about U.S. politics and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were talking about, you had a great video that I believe our Canadian Unified Network technician, our cunt from Canada, put up we were promoting his heavily. By the way, Ed the Sock, even though I don't know if Ed would probably know this, but he's such a cultural icon when it comes to the people of Canada and some of the people here in America, the lower shitty part of America, who learned about Ed. Because I'm definitely thrilled to have him on, but a lot of people were like going, holy shit, Ed the Sock's going to be on your fucking show today? I'm like, yeah. And they were putting up videos, and Ed had a great one about gun control and why gun control is not going to work.
Yeah.
And he had tons of political videos. Like, Ed is, without question, Ed is a guy, an entity unto himself.
He's a sock.
He's a sock. I wouldn't say a guy. He has bigger balls than half the people that have, humans that are out there. But Ed has the ability to, do crash, lesbian potty humor on this side of the room. And then on this side, he's giving you thought-provoking YouTube videos. And he had one about gun control. He had one about our elections here in the States, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, and you got to check it out. It's all over YouTube. You got to look it up. Just Google Ed the Sock, and you'll find everything on his YouTube channels. And you go to edthesock.com, obviously, for further crap. But he has a lot of stuff. There he is. So what do you think about, if you, give him a sample, Ed, gun control. Why do you think gun control won't work?
Well, because it doesn't matter how many guns there are in the States. The problem is, why do you guys use them so much? You got lots of garden implements, too, and you're not using them to kill people. The question is not so much why, you've got the right to bear arms, but why do you bear them so often, and why do you use them so often? The problem is the relationship between some Americans and guns, not so much the fact that guns exist.
Exactly. That's what I've said. Not that I stole it right from Ed. I've stolen a lot of stuff from Ed, but I have not stolen that from Ed. That thought is a genuine article right there. It is. It makes total sense. We have the guns. The guns aren't going anywhere. But why does everyone feel like they got to use them so goddamn much? Is Ed's point, and that's total. That's gospel.
I blame TV.
You blame TV, Billy?
Yes.
Why do you blame TV? Because why?
In TV, they always show you just pull out a gun and shoot somebody. It's great.
No, you're behind the times. You don't blame TV for things anymore. You blame video games.
There you go. You have to update your shit.
That's so passé, blaming TV. No, now you got to blame video games.
I am old.
He is old.
You get with it, will you? By the way, I got a contest going now. I used to do a show in Canada. It was called Fromage. I inherited the title. Basically, it was to look at the cheesiest music videos of the year, and it never got good ratings until I took it over and started looking not at these little artists nobody's ever heard of, but taking shots at all the big guys and all the stupid things they put in videos. And it was the biggest hit in Canada. It was kind of like, Frosty is played every year and everyone watches it, and Rudolph. In Canada, this was what everybody watched New Year's Day. Well, I quit Much Music, which was our version of MTV before it sort of died up here. And I stopped doing it, but now I'm doing a thing called The Biggest Assholes of 2015. Oh. And people get to vote and suggest who they'd like to be in this contest. And the last week of December, I'll be showing who I've chosen and why. The biggest assholes of the year in U.S. politics, world politics, news and current events, entertainment and media. So I want people to suggest more than just Donald Trump. Give me more than Trump, okay? Yeah, he's a given, but I need more than Donald Trump. If you go to headthesock.com, you'll see the video is there. And if you go to everyjoe.com, they have a link so you can vote.
I'm going to vote for Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm going to vote for you.
I don't, but I'm not gonna. I won't win in a landslide. I think Caitlyn Jenner will definitely win. I think
She has a better chance
for 2015, biggest asshole of the year. Yes. I mean, there's a lot of.
You also have to say why. Don't make me figure it out. You got to tell me why you're nominating this person. Don't just give me a name and let me try to figure out why the hell they're an asshole.
Well, I would say that Caitlyn Jenner's a big fucking asshole just for the fact that she was not a hero for what she did, and the fact is that when she receives awards for literally getting a tit job and wearing makeup, I mean, that's pretty much all she did. She wasn't a big hero. And when other people who were up for the award at the ESPYs, who was deservingly so, like a girl who died of cancer, deserved, I think, the girl that was literally trying to raise money till the day she died.
Right, she participated, it kept going and going. And,
yeah. Until the day when air left her fucking lungs, I think deserved the award more.
And also, Caitlyn Jenner does have a big fucking asshole.
She does have a big fucking asshole.
Her asshole, I know this for a fact.
You know this for a fact that she's a big asshole?
She's tremendous.
I have a big asshole too. It's fucking right behind me talking right now.
It comes from the
there you go. No, I think Caitlyn Jenner said that she hasn't had sex with a man yet, so I don't think her asshole's that big, but it will be.
It will be.
Practice it.
If she's part of the Kardashians, it's going to be stretched out by a black guy. We know that for a fact.
Well, there's foreign objects, you know.
It's foreign objects where she's sticking butt plugs up there?
Absolutely.
If you had Ed, if you in your own personal ideas and opinions, who do you think biggest asshole 2015? Who would you nominate?
Well, that sort of gives things away. I certainly think that Pharma Bro, that asshole who raised the cost of life-saving medication, he definitely is an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely an asshole. He's also the asshole, if I remember, he's the guy that also bought the Wu-Tang Clan album.
Right, he bought the one pressing of the
The
album.
one pressing for $1 million or whatever it was.
$4 million.
Oh, $4 million, and he won't let he's not going to let anybody listen to it.
I'm sure.
But he could have listening parties. He could be that gracious of a dick and have listening parties.
That guy's a huge dick. Donald Trump will come and go, but this guy, the effect he's had on people's lives, people who are sick, their lives, this guy's got more of a permanent place in the constellation of assholes. And you just look across the year, that news reporter who tripped the refugee and then tried to sue the refugee that she tripped.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
that's an asshole move.
You got one there.
Well, that's why it's going to be really hard for Ed to single out the biggest asshole of 2015, and that's why you need to vote to put in your because he's going to need help to dig through the pile of assholes. He's going to need a little assistance here to do that because it is without question. I think 2015 probably was the year of assholes. It was a monumental year for assholes.
Absolutely. Look at the Republican Party.
There you go. That's the 95% of it right there. And then the rest is all the rest is the guy stealing the not stealing but buying the drugs and everything else. But he stole. I mean, I guess he stole.
He basically did when you turn around and.
Yeah, he pretty much took the pills and went, ha, ha, ha. Hope you fucking die, ha, ha. And then, but what was smart is at least they fucked him over.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they make they got the recipe for the stuff, and now they make the generic version. And hopefully it will help out people. And then he's still an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah, they sold him a $4 million album. That's fucking.
Well, he's dumb enough to buy that.
He's a businessman, but he's still an asshole.
He also, the thing with him is he's got this shit-eating grin on his face all the time. You just want to punch him in the face really, really hard.
Just to make sure that he feels it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure. By the way, in your lengthy career,
yes,
another asshole that you supposedly had to deal with, because it was in the beginning of when I was hearing about you and seeing you on G4 and learning more about the Ed the Sock show and Night Party and everything. It was the Conan O'Brien incident.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Triumph, the insult comic dog, and you were supposed to be on the show or some shit like that.
Years ago. I was supposed to be on. Well, I guess I was supposed to be. I was talking to them about being on the show. They were interested. Then all of a sudden they weren't interested. And like a week later, their head writer appears on the show doing this dog puppet that does insult humor, has a interesting voice and a cigar. and then they claimed, no, it's just a complete accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit hinky.
We had one of those last week.
Yeah, we had a guy, I used to be an executive producer for a nationally syndicated radio show, and magically my bit that I came up with when I was producing his show magically appeared in a video that they made for his radio show.
Yeah, that's not magic. It's called theft.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to explain to Joe, and everyone over here, they weren't giving a shit. I'm like, the motherfucker stole from me.
Yeah,
he stole from me. The same way they insulted Ed the Sock. By literally coming up with a hackier version of Ed the Sock and then presenting it. No, don't get me wrong. I like Triumph. Does he say funny shit? Yeah. But Ed the Sock was the original. If Ed the Sock's the original, then you praise the original, and you go, oh, yeah, by the way, you're good, too. But the original, and that's the other thing. You point out that Ed the Sock's the original, and you give credit where credit's due. This motherfucker didn't give me any credit. Right. Just stole from me. Says fuck off.
They did the same to him.
If they steal and they give you credit, then all of a sudden they think they're going to owe you money.
Exactly.
So nobody admits anything until you get it into court and you force them. Listen, the dog puppet ripped me off, but he ripped me off where I was years ago. I've continued to grow and progress. In Canadian papers, I'm quoted on political issues, and the new prime minister of the country follows me on Twitter and interacts with me.
Well, didn't you endorse him and
Yes, I endorsed him because we had the worst candidates up here. So I endorsed him because he's the first breath of fresh air in ages, and I'm considered a commentator, a wit, a social critic, whereas the dog just still poops on things. Right. So we're of the same ethnicity, but we do different things. Now, when Conan O'Brien came up here to do his shows years ago, I said to them, you know what? Let's let water under the bridge. Let's have your dog and me go out. I'll take him around to some places in Toronto and show him the places that aren't usually on the tourist maps. And they said, no, we don't think so. Wow. So I was willing to be a bigger person and say, look, just forget about it. Let's make a joke out of it. And they wouldn't. But then I found out afterwards, he gave an interview at Entertainment Tonight where he said that, those times he faces celebrities and then says these oh, my God, things, he would sometimes go back in post-production and change what he said to make it sound more ballsy, whereas I never did that. I've talked to all the biggest names in show business, and what I said to them, I actually said to them. Now, I never actually went in there to insult people.
No.
I never actually, made somebody so angry they left, other than maybe Red Hot Chili Peppers. But it was mostly, I just kid around with celebrities, and they love it because all the times they come to town, they're doing junkets, which is a bunch of interviews from early in the morning to late at night, where every interviewer asks them the same damn question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't give a damn about any of their promotional stuff. I just asked them stuff that was fun, so they'd have to stop and think, and they'd drop their mask and stop being like the PR construct and start being people. Best way to get somebody to be real is make them laugh, because it's very hard to maintain this fiction about yourself when you're laughing. It's so honest. Yeah. So I always, what I said to them is what I said to them. I didn't go after the fact and say, it would have been better, and then change it, because that doesn't give them the chance to react to it, and that's not fair. It's not fair game.
No,
that's not.
And listen, Ed, that is exactly why I was hooked on your show, because Ed's Close Encounters, or Close Ed Counters, that was on his show. Ed is, without question, one of the most brilliant interviewers.
Sure.
Whether he's a sock or a fucking human, he's an interviewer. There's a brain in that sock. Yes. And he knew, and it's honestly what I bring to this show. And Joe, I think Joe will even agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
When I do interviews, I talk to people like they're fucking humans.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're the biggest goddamn thing going today or you're some crack whore on the corner. If we have them and you're on a show, you want to interview them. You want to talk to them. You don't want to interview them. I'm not asking them if they were a tree, what kind of fucking tree would they be?
Sure thing.
You know what I mean? That's the Barbara Walters frame. If you were a tree, Danny, what kind of tree would you be?
Yeah.
You would have the fucking Dutch elm disease in your fucking mouth.
Absolutely. So, Ed, when is the last time you got laid?
Ed gets laid all the time. Me or the sock? Because the sock gets laid way more than me.
You know, I just put that together. You're both Eds.
Oh, really?
How about you?
Well, that stop the clock.
Yeah. Joe just pulled his head out of his ass.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Wait, you both have the same name. What the fuck? And you both smoke cigars.
Well, yeah.
Fucking idiots.
There is a resemblance, except for the green hair. You know.
First off, Ed the Sock is in way better shape than me.
I would think so.
And he gets way more pussy than I do.
I can imagine he would.
And look. First off, at one point, I don't know if he ever banged his co-host. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Well, you're not
I don't know if he
baby.
did, but let me tell you, that guy is my hero for that reason. But Ed, look, I do want to blow. I don't know how long we have Ed, so I want to blow smoke up his ass for a good amount of time. I'm telling you, I learned so much from Ed. Like, you know, I always say, or I say, I sat under the learning tree of some of the greats without them even knowing it. I learned from Stern. I've learned from Jim Kerr here in New York. I've learned from Opie and Anthony when they were still together. I've learned, and Ed the Sock was on that list. Sure. I learned from Ed the Sock by watching his show and seeing that he would actually present it a true alternative to a product that was out there. Because all shows, and I believe Ed put it very eloquently when he was talking about doing the junkets and satellite interviews and all that bullshit. Sure. And he was talking about it. He gave them an option. He gave them a difference. He gave them an alternative. That, like, if you ever see his interviews, he was interviewing porn stars before it was cool to interview porn stars. And he's talking straight up to him and having great conversation. He went to a fitting room with Jesse Jane and Carmen Levana.
From porn star to political giant.
And that's and Billy, that was going to be my next point. He did Ed the Sock. When I'm done sucking his dick right now, Ed the Sock. I will.
Metaphorical, we should point out.
I will end sucking your dick on this note. Okay. The point that I was going to make that Billy just threw out there is that's what Ed taught me. Ed taught me no matter who the fuck you're interviewing, know your shit, and also be able to go from interviewing way different sides of the spectrum, no matter what it was, be able to do both. And I know that Ed probably doesn't want to hear anybody gush over him, and he's Ed the Sock, and he's a tough guy, and he's, probably hasn't been washed for a while. I know that Ed, he's a stiff sock, Bill.
I tuned out a long time ago. Keep talking.
But most definitely, you taught me that, Ed. That's why I was on her. I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I could get Ed the Sock to come on the show and praise him, it's for that reason. He taught me how to do better interviews and open up and talk to people like normal people. That's one thing. Like, and I watched the show. They did a stupid bit one time. It was honest to God. He made it outstandingly funny. One episode, they have around the hot tub that we were talking about. And Ed probably knows this because it was his fucking show. He was there. Sure. I mean, he's done a lot of drugs, but he probably remembers this. On the sides of the hot tub were plastic bullshit tiki gods. Wow. They were on the sides of the...
the tiki gods. I love the tiki gods.
Yeah. And he had these two plastic ones. And because she didn't like them, the stage director came by and ripped them the fuck down. Live on the... Now, that was another part of the show I loved. Because whatever happened. It was there. The same way we do. If a mic falls, if shit makes noise, if Joe coughs or says something stupid, we leave it in. It just... Whatever happens.
What do you mean stupid?
Well, what? Oh. Joe woke up. So they ripped
I'm not sure about that.
I love fucking Ed. So they ripped down the two plastic things. But on the very next episode, he had a floating that would come in from the ceiling, a tiki god that was only this big, but on camera it looked huge. It was this fucking big, and it would breathe fire, and it would come down. That was the new tiki god. It was hysterical because it was just. He had running gags. I'm telling you, it was an outstanding show. It's a show I think would still work right now. But Ed is
only online. There's no place in broadcast television that's taking those kinds of risks. First of all, it would never have run on regular broadcast TV in the U.S. Up here, that show with the talking to porn stars, with the toplessness and the innuendo and stuff, that ran on regular television here.
Yes.
It wasn't on cable. No. It was on regular television. You had the 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock news. You had all the primetime shows, and then you had us at 11:30. It was just a regular broadcaster. and also when we were on Fridays and then rerun on Sundays, when we were on Fridays up against Letterman and Leno, we used to beat them every week in ratings, and our whole budget was like their lunch budget.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's another thing. He showed me point blank that you can do. It's going to sound fucking bad. You can do so much with so little. Yeah. And enough about my penis. You can do so much with so little.
He's here all week.
Hi-oh, folks. Try the veal. Tip the sock on the way out. Okay. The point is that you could do, like, that's the point. It doesn't matter what you have. It matters what the fuck you do with it. And that's the difference. They were in Canada. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't work fucking here. I get it, because America sucks when it comes to TV. But now he's online, so now he can do way more stuff, and they won't blur it out. They won't. He can do whatever he wants, and that's why we're on internet radio. We were on terrestrial. Yeah, we did terrestrial. We're trying to get on satellite because I think now that Stern re-signed for 5 fucking years, I don't think there's gonna be any money left. But what are you gonna do? But the fact is, that's what you have to be, because if you're creative, like Ed the Sock or me or other people that are in this genre, and you want to be creative but you don't want all the restraints to hold you back, you got to find a way to do it. And I believe Ed the Sock is going to be doing that. Yes, and I think Ed the Sock will continue to do that in many ways, and he has to do it on an internet-based format, because I don't know. I mean, they do have... Did you ever... Are you doing a show on the internet, Ed, or what is the scope of what's going on? Are you just doing videos?
Right now I'm doing. I mean, the thing about the internet is they call something that's 5 minutes long a show. Right. We used to call that a segment. Now it is a show, and that's, I guess, true, because on the internet people don't watch things much longer than about 3-4 minutes. Very few people will watch anything longer than 3, maybe 4 minutes. So if you do stuff for the net, you got to basically break it up. But right now, just doing the stuff for EveryJoe.com and Huffington Post, which is short bits, 3 to 5 minutes. But in the new year, yeah, there's going to be a new show making the most out of the fact that there's all this technology and freedom out there on the net. However, don't expect a hot tub, because I've been there, done that. I don't need the smell of chlorine anymore.
Fuck the hot tub. There will be, though, a slip and slide.
Well, there was a show down here. They did that, too, didn't they?
What?
One of those, like, guy-type shows.
No, there was the Man Show.
Yeah,
and all that.
They did all those things. So, like, he paved the way. Ed DeSarkis paved the way.
But
everybody else stole from it.
Oh, no, everyone.
Or borrowed and, whatever.
I don't mind that. Listen, I don't mind when people we all, in the creative business, everybody inspires everybody else. That's part of it. Good artists copy, great artists steal. So I don't mind. I mean, the Man Show tried to buy. We used to go to Florida, to Panama City Beach, Florida, and they had these daily bikini and wet T-shirt contests. And we used to shoot it and then put, sports-type commentary over it. Right. And the Man Show wanted to buy that footage. I was stupid. I probably should have sold it to them because it wouldn't interfere with what we were doing with it. But I was like, no, that's our thing. Considering how much money they probably would have paid, that was a stupid move.
You could have had Kimmel money. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, could have had money. Never mind Kimmel money. The one time that the Canadian dollar was worth more than the American dollar in the last 40 years, and it was worth, about 15, 20% more, something like that. That one time was the time that we were being funded by an American company. So the American dollar didn't go as far as the Canadian dollar. So we wound up taking a budget cut because the American dollar was so low that ours was stronger. Now, of course, if we were to do that again and get the budget from the U.S., we would be making 20% more. Our budget would have 20% more. In this case, we had like 15% less. Just my luck.
Let's see what happens in the new year, man. Let's see what happens in the new year. Ed, is there anything you want to plug though? Because I feel free, dude. You are an icon to me. You're one of my idols. So feel free. Take over the show. Plug whatever the hell you want, buddy.
Well, I just want to. I mean, I'm on Twitter at Ed the Sock. Simple enough. So go and tweet me there. Don't forget to go to my website at thesock.com. You'll find the video explaining the biggest assholes of 2015 contest. So go there. EveryJoe.com has is the place to go to enter the ballot for your suggestions for biggest assholes of 2015. I'll be doing the top 5 in a few categories. That'll run the last week of December, so you got a little bit of time, but not much. And what else? I think that's pretty much everything I got to say. Though I have to say that mostly when I do these radio shows afterwards, I think, what the hell did I waste my time for? You guys actually, at least you, Uncle Eddie, actually did research, which is quite impressive because most of the time radio guys, they don't do any research. They ask you a question so you can keep talking, and they stop paying attention. They start doing their taxes and crap until they hear you stop talking, and then they pop in with another generic question that's clear they haven't done any research or paid any attention. So anytime you want to have me on, I will be back on your show.
Oh, thank you. That's fucking huge. All right. By the way, Nick in Canada, the CUNT. Yeah. Nick, can you please post Biggest Assholes of 2015 on the Ham Radio Show page?
Absolutely.
As well as put it on all the other pages, Ham 24/7, that, and what else do we have? Demand the Ham, put it up there. Put it up everywhere you fucking can. I want Ed to have I want people voting for Biggest Asshole of 2015.
Yeah, I don't want to choose it myself. I mean, that'd be easy, but I don't want to choose it myself.
Yeah, he doesn't. Even though he just sounded like he was underwater on that last part, I still understand what he said. Right. Go to edthesock.com. Ed, thank you very much for being on the show, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Joe, anytime you might want to wake up.
Thank you, Ed. See, Ed knows you suck, Joe. Ed knows you suck. Ed hung up real fast. He's like, I got to go. Joe's fucking bringing on the show. I got to go. 908-854-4228 is the Ham Radio Show. Yeah. And, of course, I want to thank Ed the Sock for being on the program. Phenomenal. He's the best sock I know, Danny. He's the best sock I fucking know.
He my socks out any day.
Yeah,
lousy connection, though. Sorry about that.
Well, at the end, he was. That's his normal voice.
No,
that's what he sounds like normally.
His voice is okay, but the
right at the end, though. Right at the end,
quality of the call.
It's the Ham Radio Show. As soon as Joe worries about the connection later,
you know me.
Hey, technically, I thought it was shit.
No, the content was great.
All right,
the content was good.
Let's go break. And we'll come back. We'll see if we'll get a Smash Burger update. Danny has to get ready to get the fuck out of here. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's the Fat Ass Birthday Bash on the Ham Radio Show.